Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Bosch WTH85223 heat pump tumble dryer. What I want to do today is to show you around the dryer some of the features and benefits that it offers. Just before I start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up. Now this is what's called a heat pump tumble dryer, and the main advantage compared to a standard condenser tumble dryer is it's a lot more energy efficient. Now if you've followed me on YouTube for a while, you'll know that I normally show the energy label throughout the process of the video, normally a bit later on. But now what I want to do is I'm going to actually show you this, this part of the video, because it's so important, and this one being an A++ is very energy efficient. As you can see here, on average it would consume 236 kilowatt hours per annum. But what I want to do is just to compare this with the sister model in the Bosch range, which is also an 8 kilogram, but it's the standard condenser version rather than being a heat pump. So I'll just show you this so you can see it's an A++ energy rating compared to a B. Now I know some of you might be thinking, well, a B probably isn't too bad, but just have a look at the consumption of it. So 560 kilowatt hours per annum compared to 236, so it's going to cost more than twice as much to run the standard condenser dryer compared to the heat pump. I'm just going to pop the tape measure across the dryer to show you the dimensions on it. First of all, the width of it, you're looking at 60 centimeters or around 23.5 inches. The height of it, so it should be pretty standard, 84 centimeters or just over 33 inches. And the depth, so front to back, the installed depth as I call it. So to the front here, you're looking at 59 centimeters to the corner, or if you want to include the door as well, so that's 59 centimeters or around 23.25 inches. Or if you were to include the door as well, really looking at 66 centimeters or 26 inches. So if you are looking at purchasing this dryer, or I suppose any appliance, just make sure you have a quick measure first, because there's nothing more annoying than an appliance arriving and then realizing it doesn't fit. To switch the dryer on, all you need to do is rotate the dial to one of the programs, and you'll see you've got a really nice clear white LED display. Now, it's something I mention quite a lot when I talk about Bosch appliances, but I must admit Bosch do make some really good and clear displays. There's nothing worse than a brand picking a colour for their display where it's difficult to read, because it just makes life more difficult for the customer. Now what I want to do is I just want to cover some of the programs and what the different options are. First of all, you have got something called sensor dry on this machine. And what that will do is when you put the clothes in, first of all it comes up with an initial time on here, as you can see 4 hours and 9 minutes, which for a program sounds a very long time, but you will find that using the sensor drying technology, what it will do is it will actually reduce the time or possibly increase the time depending on the program, depending on the moisture content within the clothes. So if you've got some clothes that you put in there where it's a very small load, and if you've spun it really high in the washing machine, then it might not lead that long in the dryer. So the first program here, the Cotton's Cupboard Dry Plus, these are for dry hard wearing heat resistant fabrics made of cotton or linen, and you can put the full capacity of 8 kilograms in this one. The reason I mention that is because not all programs around the dial can you put the full capacity in. If you were to, so on some of the smaller programs, if you had say a 2 kilogram maximum load, if you put say 8 kilograms in there, then the initial time will be completely ignored and it will just take a whole lot longer to do the drying process. The next one is Cupboard Dry. It's still within cottons, but with this one it just won't dry for as long. As you can see, it reduces it down to around 3.5 hours. And exactly the same concept is still for dry hard wearing heat resistant fabrics made of cotton or linen. The next option is called Iron Dry, but with Iron Dry what this will do is this will leave everything slightly damp. Now I know some people are thinking, well, it's a tumble dry, I want it to get my clothes dry, but the main advantage of Iron Dry is that it leaves everything so it's suitable for ironing. So if you had things like shirts or t-shirts or trousers that you put in the dryer, and if you want to iron them pretty much straight away, then select the Iron Dry. That's a really good one because it can reduce the number of creases that you get at the end of the program. Next one is Sportswear, and with this is for drying self-drying sportswear made of performance fibres, microfibres and synthetics. So completely different to the top 3 programs. And with this one, it is a shorter program at around 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it's only for a maximum of 1.5 kilograms. The next program is the Towels, and with this one has a maximum capacity of 6 kilograms. I've no idea why it's 6 and not 8, but that's something that Bosch have decided to do. And as it says, that's for drying hard wearing heat resistant towels and dressing gowns made of cotton or linen. Next program is the mix load, and this has a maximum capacity of only 3 kilograms, but it is for drying items made of cotton and synthetics. Next program is the time program warm, and you've also got time program cold at the bottom. With these, this just allows you to select a time manually. So if you just wanted to put something in the tumble dryer for a certain amount of time, then just select one of these programs at the bottom, either warm or cold, and then press the program duration button there, and it just takes it up by 10-minute increments. And the next program is the wool finish, and with this program, so you can only dry up to 0.5 kilograms, so a very, very small capacity. As you can see, it's a very short time as well, at only around 6 minutes. But this is for drying machine washable items made of wool or containing wool. It does say in the instructions that the laundry becomes fluffier but not dry. So all it's doing is it's just finishing off the process. But it is recommended to remove the laundry once the program has ended and allow it to dry properly. Downwear, so with this program, this has maximum capacity of up to 1.5 kilograms. And this is for drying clothing, bedspreads or eider-downs, stuff with down. Next program, Super Quick 40, and as it says here, it's around 40 minutes. It does say on the display here 45, that amuses me a little bit. But with this, so it's a maximum capacity of up to 1 kilogram, and this is for drying items made of synthetics and light cottons. Next program on here, shirts. Now this is a program that's very popular in my household, with myself and my boys wearing lots of shirts and t-shirts. Then this is always a popular one. But this is suitable for drying things like shirts and blouses made of cotton, linen, synthetics or blended fabrics. And it only has a maximum capacity of 1.5 kilograms. It does recommend, again in the instructions, for optimal drying results, dry a maximum of 5 shirts or 5 blouses at the same time. And then the next 3 options are actually a mirror image of these 3 options here, but rather than the cottons, this is for easy care. So these are for drying items, things like synthetic materials or blended fabrics, rather than cotton items. But the principle is exactly the same, so things like cupboard dry plus, cupboard dry and iron dry. So as you go between the 3, so 44 minutes it's recommending, and then the next one 1 hour 7, and then 1 hour 21. The capacity on this side is less, so you're only looking at 3.5 kilograms rather than 8. I'll just cover some of the options on here. First of all, you've got the drying level. So if you found that using this program, for example, that it doesn't get everything completely dry, then you can actually increase the time if you want to. So just press that. So as you can see, it's just increased the time. So it starts at 1 hour 21 and then goes up to 1 hour 33, 1 hour 45 and then 1 hour 57. The next option here is called Finish In, and this is where you can actually delay the start of the program by up to 24 hours. You just keep pressing that button and it'll go up in 1 hour increments. What you will find, this is a really good option if you've got things like Economy 7 where you get cheap electricity during the night, or if you just wanted to delay the start of the program to make sure it finishes for when you arrive back. Because again, I suppose with any tumble dryer, you really don't want the clothes sitting there for several hours before you take them out, because that just increases the chance of everything getting creased. Next option on here is reduced ironing. And with that, once it gets to the end of the program and it's finished, then the drum will rotate at regular intervals for up to 60 minutes. And what that does is that just prevents or reduces the amount of creasing you can get within the clothes. So I suppose that's a really good idea, to use the reduced ironing option when using the time delay. Next one is low heat, and as it says, rather than having a higher heat, if you've got more delicate items that you're drying, then I'd just select the low heat option there. Then the final button is start and reload. Now the idea of reload is that when you first put the clothes in, what it will do is it will come up with an initial time like I've shown you on here, but it takes probably around 7 or 8 minutes for the sensors to kick in and to realise the time needed to get all the clothes dry. If you were to open the door during the drying process to either take something out or put something extra in, then what it will do is it will reset the sensor and the whole program is starting again, which can be a little bit frustrating because all you're doing is you're just increasing the time of the program. When it comes to opening the door, couldn't be easier. You've got a large grip handle on the left hand side here, just pull that and then the door will open pretty much 180 degrees. Now something I do comment on a lot when I'm talking about appliances are the hinges and door catches. Now I'm pleased to see that Bosch have maintained the metal hinge and door catch. There's nothing worse than the brand using cheap materials like plastic when it comes to things like the door hinges and door catches, because they're not as strong as metal and they do break a lot easier. When it comes to the filter, you've just got it in the door here, so just pull that out, and probably either every load or every couple of loads, just take the fluff or lint out of here and then put that bit together, and then it just drops in there. As far as other maintenance, not a huge amount to do, but you have got this filter here, so you just pull these blue tabs down, pull this out, and then you just need to give that a bit of a clean. I suppose you can give it a quick rinse and then just pop it back in the machine. You've also got the condenser unit behind here. Just make sure that's nice and clean as well. Perhaps get a brush, just brush it over, and then get any fluff or lint or any debris that's in there, take that out, and then once you finish, just pop this back in. Make sure you pop the blue tabs down and up, and then you're ready to go. Now at some point you're going to need to empty the water from the machine, but there are actually two ways of doing this. I suppose the first way, which is the main way when it comes to standard condenser dryers, is this. So you've got the tray at the top, just take that out, and when it's full of water, just go and take it over to a sink, empty it, and then pop it back in. And another way, rather than having to empty the water container on the front, is by using this cheeky little hose that comes with the dryer. Now what you do is you just disconnect the pipe at the bottom and attach this pipe. And what that will do is that will enable you to use a waste outlet. So if, for example, if you've got your washing machine and tumble dryer sat next to each other, if you've got a waste outlet, then I'd recommend using that, because it just saves having to worry about emptying the container. If you're thinking of purchasing one of these models, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Bosch WTH85223 heat pump dryer. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad about the video. There might be a feature or something that you've come here to have a look at. If I've not covered it, then I've got this on display in a showroom at the moment. Then just pop it as a comment or a question, then I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, not necessarily this model, but if you've got a Bosch heat pump tumble dryer, let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.